All right, everybody, welcome. It's 2:32. We're going to get started. Thank you for being here. I see a couple of faces, see some names. So thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Wonderful. Welcome. I appreciate you being here. I'm grateful to be here as we can talk about this really, really interesting subject matter, peer online course review. Before I jump into the presentation, just want to cover a few items of housekeeping. As always, we do have closed captions enabled for this meeting. If you want to turn those on, just click that CC button at the bottom of your Zoom screen, so those are present for you. Also, this meeting is being recorded, so a lot of our colleagues are teaching right now. They can't make it in, so we are going to post this to Long Beach City College website so that others who wish to view it later can do so. So just keep that in mind. I have the chat open. You are welcome to engage, ask questions throughout this presentation in the chat. You're also welcome to raise your hand so I can see you and unmute and ask questions. And all that said, I do have a dedicated 10 to 15 minutes at the end of this presentation just for Q&A. But if something comes up during the slides, please feel free to chime in, and I'm happy to pause and address whatever it is you're asking about. I think that's all my housekeeping items. With that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and begin the presentation. And just so you know, I already got your information in the Zoom meeting registration, so there's no need to sign in the chat. You don't need to do that for flex credit purposes. I already got your information. All right, let's get moving, and I'll share the correct screen. Okay, you should be seeing Peer Online Course Review, or what we affectionately call POCR. Yes, just like the card game. I know, it's punny. But today we are talking all about this wonderful initiative that I'm grateful to have been a part of for the past 4 years at Long Beach City College. And I serve as the POCR lead for the campus. And I'm also serving as the online education faculty coordinator, which is just a long, fancy title that means I get to serve faculty just like you as we navigate the world of online teaching together. In addition, I'm a professor of anthropology. That's kind of my home, but I'm helping out with all this online learning initiatives in the meantime. So happy to be here with you to talk about this topic. Today is really more of an info session telling you about Peer Online Course Review. And my goal by the end of this workshop is that everybody here, or everybody tuning in later, will have a thorough understanding of what exactly this program entails, if it's right for you, and what the expectations and timelines would be if you decide to participate. Okay, so those are my goals by the end of this workshop. And in order to reach those goals, I'm going to walk you through this following infographic. And I know it's small right now because it's rather long, but I'm going to zoom into each part and we'll walk through it together. This is what me and my team call the pathway to POCR. And to put it simply, POCR can take a long time. And so by breaking it down into these 6 major steps that you see on screen, we found it to be a little bit more manageable for our faculty colleagues so that they can reach that finish line. What we don't want to see is, oh, you start steps 1, 2, 3, and then we pause and we never pick it back up again. So my job as POCR lead and my team who conducts the POCR reviews, our job is to help you reach the finish line in a reasonable timeline for you. Okay, so with that, we're going to jump right in and start with step 1 to the pathway to POCR. And step 1 is really visiting our website to learn more about what this is. That includes the process, benefits, expectations, and resources available. So to do that, I'm going to jump on over to Peer Online Course Review, which I'll also share with you in the chat if that's helpful, right there. And this is our homegrown Google site that just for Long Beach City College POCR. And here you're going to find a whole lot of information, but I want to start with the acknowledgement and kudos to faculty who have already gone through this process by aligning their courses with POCR standards. We have courses in philosophy, reading, psychology, communication, arts, anthropology, which is what I teach, accounting, business communication. And I want to emphasize your course could be next on this list. And I hope your courses are next on this list, because my goal is to help build out the number of courses that we have aligned with POCR standards. So as you check out this website, oops, sorry, wrong button. As you check out this website, it's going to tell you a whole lot of information about how to get started. It's going to go over the pathway to POCR, which that's the crux of our presentation today. But I want to focus in on what POCR is, okay? Because I want to be very, very clear. This is nothing required, okay? This is not something that all online faculty have to do. That said, I encourage any online faculty who wants to do it, that they should do it. I went through POCR back in spring of 2020, which you might remember, that was kind of a busy semester for all of us. But I'll tell you, my online course, it improved exponentially. And I felt already pretty skilled in the world of online teaching and learning, but putting my courses through POCR made them even better than they were before. And it's something that always gives me something to improve year after year after year. So I want to highlight some basics here for you, starting with the California Virtual Campus Online Education Initiative. Now, if you've ever been in a workshop with me, you've heard me give you this alphabet soup, CVC, OEI, again and again and again. And again, this is a statewide organization of all the best online instructors and administrators up and down the state, coming together and really identifying what qualities make an online course exemplary. And so this work group, they took all of these exemplary elements and they put them into what you see here on the right, which is called a course design rubric. And the course design rubric, I'll drop that in the chat as well if you'd like to peruse it later when you're having trouble sleeping. It is a rather long document, and in it, there are 44 specific elements that this work group decided are qualities of an excellent online course. And they're broken down into 4 categories: section A, B, C, and D. Section A is all about the content. B, interaction. C, assessment. And then finally, D, accessibility. And as you scroll through this document, each of those areas have specific criteria within them. For example, here we have A1, A2, and A3. And within each of these areas, this is a rubric, just like our grading rubrics. There are different check boxes for incomplete, aligned, or additional exemplary elements. And as we go through the POCR process, we look at an instructor's entire online course, every page, every assignment, every discussion, every video. We look at it all. And based on what we see during the peer online course review process, we will rate these specific elements in one way or another, depending on what we see. Now, our goal is to make sure that every single element, all 44 of them, are either aligned or exemplary. That is what makes a course a POCR aligned course. And in addition to just checking these boxes, we always give narrative feedback on each individual criterion, is that we want this to be a constructive process. This is not evaluative. This is not in our contract or anything like that. This is a constructive process for folks who want to teach their online courses at the next level. So again, I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I have workshops that do touch on many of these elements, but it's quite a lot. See, we're moving into section B with instructor contact and interaction, or student-to-student contact. And then section C about the assessment. Are we assessing authentically online? Are they frequent assessments online? Are we using rubrics, etc.? And then D, accessibility. And that gets into the nitty gritty, things like heading styles in our Canvas pages, or accessible hyperlinks, or even closed captions on our video content. Okay. So there's a lot to look at here. And that's what POCR is. POCR is when my team of trained POCR reviewers get to take a critical look at your online class, and we fill out this rubric based on what you are currently doing in that class. And throughout this rubric, we provide recommendations and suggestions. If you might be incomplete on C7, we're going to write a narrative and say, in order to align with C7, we recommend you do this and this and this. And then we look at the course again, and then we make a decision. Okay, yes, they've met the standard, or hey, gold star, they have exceeded that standard. So that is really POCR in a nutshell. And again, you get some of that on our website too, where I've also added a workshop of mine where I describe pretty much what I just did to you. What is that CBC OEI rubric? So that's really the basis of it. We're not just looking at, arbitrary items. These are 44 elements that are tried and true up and down the state as being high quality, or in high quality online courses. Okay. So that's really step one, is come on over to our website, check out, what it is we're all about, what are the benefits, and what are the expectations. And as far as the benefits, the first and foremost is you're going to have an absolutely fabulous online course. Not to say you don't already, but it can get even better than it currently is. But data is showing that students who take courses aligned with the POCR standards tend to have higher success rates. We are working with LBCC Institutional Effectiveness to track this more locally, because this is statewide data. Okay. But that right there, that's a pretty good reason to try this out in your online course. Additionally, practically speaking, faculty earn a stipend, $750 for each course that they align with the POCR standards. Okay, and we do have a budget this year. That's why I want to get this workshop out early in the year, so we have all year to get you all to that finish line. Also, you will earn a quality reviewed badge from the California Community College's Course Exchange. And what all that means is that a student anywhere in the state of California can take an online course at pretty much any community college in California. But when you go through POCR and finish POCR, your course gets this nice little seal, this badge that it says it's quality reviewed, and your course will appear higher in the search results. So I'll say if art, if you're teaching your Psych 1 course and it's got that badge next to it, when a student in Northern California searches for online psychology courses, your quality reviewed class will appear higher up in their search results, because the state values the POCR process. It's directing students to those classes first. And then, of course, another practicality is if you are aligned with POCR, you will be exceptionally well prepared for your contractual evaluation of the online courses. Currently, our contracts, full-time contract particularly, has an online teaching checklist, which honestly is a lesser version of what you see here in this rubric. So if you align with all of these standards, the contractual online teaching checklist is going to be a walk in the park for you. Okay, that will come easily to you just by virtue of going through POCR. Okay. And then lastly, and maybe this is personal to me, but I like teaching an online course that fulfills me. And going through POCR myself has been one of the best ways to find that fulfillment, of challenging myself to do new things or to try new approaches. And I hope the other instructors can feel that too, if you choose to go through this. Okay. So that's step one. Learn about our process. Visit our website, check it out, bookmark it, all that good stuff. And then if you decide that poker is right for you, step 2 on our pathway is to apply. Space is limited. Okay, and I know some folks here, I am looking at the participant list today. Some folks here have already applied, and I have your application on record. I wanted to get this workshop out before making notifications of acceptance and fairness to all faculty. But if you are thinking about this, I urge you, apply sooner than later. And the application isn't terribly long, nor is it invasive. In fact, I'll put it in the chat right now if you'd like. And we just want to know a little bit about you, what you teach, your online teaching experience, and that's important. And it's important because if someone is brand new to online teaching, I would not recommend poker to them. We typically ask folks to have at least a year of solid online instruction experience under their belt before they undergo this process. As if they're brand new, sometimes it's just a little too much to take on, okay? We also look at the course that you plan to redesign and how often it is taught online. And again, that's something important because if we're going to invest our time and resources to aligning a particular course, then we want to make sure that it's actually being taught online on a regular basis. So if you're not sure about that, you could talk to me, you could talk to your department head on what's realistic for you. And then we also ask about the current accessibility score for the course in which you are teaching. And by the way, if you're not sure how to access that, you come on over and you click this button near the top right, and it will give you a percentage for the course accessibility score. Now, I'm not saying that this is a deal breaker, but what we have sometimes found is that an instructor might have something like, 30 lecture videos, and they might be wonderful lecture videos. But if they do not have closed captions on those lecture videos, then we cannot give it the seal of approval from poker. And so when something that significant and substantial and time consuming is kind of a roadblock, we say, look, let's pause, let's get to closed captioning your videos, and then commence the poker process, okay? Because we want this to be realistic and attainable within the academic year. And then we ask, what trainings have you done? And by now you've all done the TOS and Growing with Canvas or Introduction to Teaching with Canvas. You might have some others on your CV as well, which is great. And then you can choose. You can choose a stipend or the 6 hours of flex credit. Most folks choose the stipend, which is great. We have a budget this year. And then just a little paragraph, why you want to be part of this. What's in it? What's in it for you besides the stipend? Okay. As soon as you submit that, and I'm going to go through all the applications in the coming weeks and notify folks really on a first come, first served basis on if they are eligible to participate. Okay. So that is step 2, application. Step 3, I'll go back, is begin the work. Now, if I were to just say to all of you right here, great, give me your courses and me and my team will start the poker process. That would be a little too fast. And what would happen and what has happened in past years is sometimes we find that there's a lot of those 44 elements that need some adjustment until we can mark it as aligned or exemplary. So in order to meet that need, we had to bridge the skills with the expectations of this program with a training course. And that is called the Online Course Design Academy. And I'm going to show it to you right now. A couple of you here I know have already started, or a couple of you have already completed it who are here, okay? So when you are notified of your acceptance to the Pathway to Poker cohort for this year, I will automatically enroll you in this training course. When you go through this training course, you're going to see a whole lot of content that will prepare you exceptionally well for the rigors of poker review. You'll see here, it's divided into 4 sections, A, B, C, and D. Where do you think I got that from? Well, the course design rubric I showed earlier. And when you get into these modules in the training, it is set up to mirror the expectations of the poker process. For example, A1, placement of objectives. Each element, A1, A2, A3, A4, etc., down the alphabet. We have a content page which explains the standard, examples that take you to 3 different courses showing you examples of what this can look like in an online course. We have videos showing you how to do this. We have step-by-step instructions. And followed by that is your evidence, where you create a Canvas sandbox with that particular element. And that is your submission. That is your assignment to perform A1 in your Canvas course. And then you submit it. And then within a couple of days, I'll get you some feedback and let you know, are you aligned at this point, exemplary, or not there yet? That's the entire course for every single element. And I know this looks like a lot because it is a lot, but I can assure you that a lot of these items you are probably already doing. A lot of them you're probably already doing, especially if you've been to my workshops or seen my videos before. Some of these things might already be present in your online course, like regular effective contact should be there. But if you need more examples or tips on how to do that, it's there. The Online Course Design Academy is designed to equip you with the skills and terminology so that by the time my team conducts the poker review, you are 90% there. All right. So that's where the training piece comes in. And at the end of this, you get a little certificate. You can add it to your 10-year review portfolio if you wish, or your evaluation portfolio if you wish, or your CV. And once you finish the Course Design Academy, then you will commence with step 4. And the Course Design Academy can vary in length. I've had some faculty finish it in a couple of weeks, and I've had some faculty kind of stretch it out and take a couple of months. Okay. Again, the timeline, we technically have the whole academic year, but if you were to hypothetically start it tomorrow, I'd say give yourself until November to have it done, so we could begin the poker process sooner than later. Once you finish the training, then you submit your course. This is when me and my highly trained poker teammates get into your course, and we spend a cumulative 30 hours going through every page, every assignment, every video. If it's published in your Canvas shell, we look at it. We look at your accessibility scores, and we take notes and check off our boxes the entire time. And the idea behind this, again, it's not evaluative, it is constructive, so that you know exactly what we are looking for, so that you can meet the standards of the course design rubric. I want to give you a sense of what this looks like. And first of all, my poker team consists of faculty from all around the college, full-time and part-time faculty. And what typically happens is that 3 of us will be assigned to one course, and 3 of us will work together to review all the elements of that course. That's where that 30 hours comes from, because across 3 people, it's about 30 hours total. We're looking at these courses. And again, the college, all around the college, full-time and part-time faculty are on the POCR team, and we've all been certified through the California virtual campus in order to be able to do these reviews. So we've been trained extensively on this. So during the POCR review, when you've submitted your course, you kind of just sit back and relax. This is the part for my team to take about 3 weeks to dig into your course. And as we conduct the review, we fill out a course design tracker just for you. And this is confidential. We don't share it with anybody outside of the team besides the faculty author themselves. Okay. It doesn't go to department heads, deans, not part of anything like that. It's just constructive between faculty. And this is an example. So it's not a real instructor, not a real course, but this gives you a sense of what we do. So my team, for example, is 3 of us, me, Maureen, and Tiari. And we're taking a look at sections A, B, C, and D. And our goal is to have it look like this, where all 4 sections are aligned. And in this course design tracker, me and my team go through every single element and we make ratings, exemplary or incomplete. And if it's incomplete, we let you know, hey, let's work on this. Aligned, we still give comments. In order to reach exemplary, you can do this instead. So on and so forth. So you see every single element reflected here in our comments. And we spend quite a few hours filling this out for individual faculty in their courses. But this is really where the bulk of the conversation starts. We even make note, I'm scrolling a little too fast, my apologies. But we make note of, are all the headings in all the pages accessible? Or are all the videos accessible? In this case, it was incomplete. And we found a lot of videos in the course that had auto-generated captions as opposed to accurate closed captions from YouTube videos. So we asked the faculty, please find appropriate substitutes for the videos. And then we give them a list. Give them a list of the videos that need to be adjusted. Okay. And again, sometimes this can be time consuming.
Michael, I have a question regarding that.
Yes.
Do you guys define, I don't really know what all that means. Do you guys define what that is so then I'm clear of whatever I'm putting in?
Define what, Becky? The accurately captioned videos?
Yeah, like auto-generated versus like, I mean, I noticed YouTube is doing a better job. They do that now much better than they did 2 years ago. So then I watch it and it's like, well, it is writing what I'm saying. So then I'm thinking it's fine. But is that all I need to do?
Not quite. And that is covered, by the way, in the training. So that will be part of your training and preparation. But as far as captions go, so YouTube is getting better at transcribing what is being said. The problem with YouTube automatic captions is they typically don't have any punctuation, like periods or commas or question marks, and they typically don't have any capitalization. So for a student who's relying on the closed captions, they're unable to see when one sentence ends and the next one begins.
Okay.
It's almost like reading a book, without any periods or capitals. How would we know where one idea stops and the next one starts? So yes, YouTube is getting better, but it's not quite to the standard that we need to see.
Thank you.
Sure thing. Okay. So again, this takes the POCR team about 2 to 3 weeks to complete for your course. When it is done, I typically do a screen recording where I take a half hour or so and walk you through. I typically meet with you as the submitting faculty and go over the feedback and talk about your online course and what we're looking for and where you can find it and how to do it. We answer questions. And what often happens is it creates this dialogue. And that dialogue really is what turns into step 5, which is to make revisions. okay? I'll tell you this right off the bat, because I've had some faculty concerned with it. Nobody, in my experience doing this for 4 years, nobody gets it all aligned the first try, okay? I have pokered 2 of my anthropology course, and I didn't get it right on my first try. It is okay to have items that are listed as incomplete by the team. That's part of this development process. That's part of the growth process. If we find you exemplary all the way down the very first time, then what are we doing here? Like, you're already there. So everybody has some incompletes along the way. It is okay. This is non-judgmental, non-evaluative. Okay, I always like to lead with that, because once my team goes through your entire course and fills out that course design tracker, you're going to get it back. And we're going to say, hey, we found this and this and this and this and this are not yet aligned. Here's what we need you to do to reach alignment. Or here's what you can do to make it exemplary. Okay. And that's where the dialogue comes in. That's where, in the course design tracker, let's say, and I did this one on purpose as incomplete. Let's say, okay, we found A2, clarity of unit objectives. That's not quite where we need it to be. That's incomplete. And at this point, I'm going to do something to the effect of add a comment and tag you in it. I'm picking on Art because I see you right here. Please address this item assigned to Art. And now Art's going to get a little notification that, hey, Art, we found A2 needs a little bit of adjustment. Please come in and make that adjustment. And you can do this on your own time. That's the beauty of poker, is it is a primarily asynchronous, self-paced process. So let's say, Art's working on Saturday evening when I'm not in front of a computer, but Art can come in, make some adjustments to A2, and then in this column, action taken for faculty submitter, let us know. I've revised the weekly module objectives to follow Bloom's taxonomy. And so at that point, we will go back into the course, we will find that item, and then we will determine, yes, Art made that adjustment in a satisfactory way, and then we will change this to aligned. So you can imagine, depending how many items might need adjustment, this process might take a few days. This process might take a few weeks, okay? Our goal is to give you the support that you need so that you can come through and make these recommended revisions in as timely manner as possible. I'm going to be straightforward with you all here. People who do not finish the pathway to poker most often get stuck on step 5. We conduct the poker review, we give them the requested revisions, and then they get busy. Okay, things come up, right? It gets pushed to the back burner. That's most often why folks don't quite make it to the finish line, where they're almost there, but they have some items that are still marked as incomplete. So this is where, I'm going to be following up with you. I'm going to be checking in. Hey, Art, how's A2 coming along? Hey, Becky, how are your videos coming along? And I'm going to check in with you because, as again, our goal, help you cross that finish line. That is our overarching goal. Once you do come in, you make those changes, and every single element is either exemplary or aligned in your course design tracker. Then you have reached step 6. And you're done. That is when one, I will submit your name for the $750 stipend from the college. Two, you will, I will submit your name and your course name to the statewide course exchange so that you can get a badge next to your name and next to your course. Okay. And then you will have a POCR aligned course in the statewide registry, which currently Long Beach City College has 17 courses in that badge in that registry. I would like to increase that number substantially with your help, obviously, being the faculty doing this work. And again, this is what the quality reviewed badge looks like so that everybody and the students know how much time, effort, and work you have put into this process. So looking at this, steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On average, it will take a faculty member anywhere from 2 to 3 months from the very beginning to the very end. Sometimes we have a faculty member begin in the fall and not finish until spring. That's okay too. But I also know that there's some of you here who are already on step 3 or finished with step 3. In those cases, it is very realistic for you to start and finish this process in the fall semester. So with that, I want to encourage you, let's try it. Try it out. We're here to support you. I have the best POCR team in the state. And I don't say that because I don't say that to brag. I say that honestly. We are an efficient POCR team of diverse faculty from all across the college. And if it is helpful to you, I want to invite you to a few more workshops coming up this October, this month, in which we're featuring faculty who have POCR aligned their courses. First one is in a couple of weeks. Our colleague Trisha Wilging aligned her reading and teacher preparation course with POCR last year. After that, just a couple days later, Friday, October 18th, Professor Edward Chen in psychology, he POCR aligned his Psych 1 course last year. And then lastly, near the end of October, October 24th, part-time faculty Desiree Montenegro in Comm Studies, she POCR'd her communications course last year. And so these workshops will be showcasing these classes so that you get a better idea of what a POCR aligned course can look like. Okay, that's the idea. I want these instructors to inspire you to commence the POCR process yourself. With that being said, I think that's my last slide. That is my last slide. That's great. So with that being said, settle right here. Open it up to questions and comments about this process. How can I help you make a decision about joining the pathway to POCR? What questions do we have? I'll stop my share.
Michael, I'll jump in with a question if that's all right.
Please do.
I have 2 classes that I'd like to consider for POCR. One is a Psych 1 course, and I did the accessibility report, and it's looking okay. It's at 96%, and
that's stellar.
And the other one is at a not so stellar 46%, and so that one requires considerate revisions, and my intent is to actually revise it as I'm teaching it in this second 8-week session. Would it be more beneficial? Would it be beneficial to begin with one course and then maybe move on to the second course in the spring? Is that a possibility?
I would advise going with a low-hanging fruit on this one. And that is, I say that because what you learn in your first time going through POCR will drastically expedite your second time going through POCR. So if you do the course that is already, at a stellar level, then, it will probably go faster And if I have spots available, and that's an if, in the spring, then you can certainly submit that course in the spring. That wouldn't be a problem. And if not, if there's no room in spring, then we'll just do that one next fall. I have an annual funding cycle to make sure that this work continues.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Absolutely. Becky.
Okay, I think it might be a question along the same lines, and maybe when I continue to do that thing that you already gave me that I've ignored, I might get an answer to that. But
Okay.
part of it was I didn't want to do a sandbox. I really just want to take, like I just did the accessibility. I have 88% on one class. I would like to take that and start to applying it to that red thing. I'm sorry, I don't remember all the names, but the pre thing, step 2 or 3, the pre thing, go through that checklist. I'd really like to just do a really active live class, but I'm confused, like maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should be copying things over, or it's okay just to take my class and just do it. And yeah, so that's my question.
Yeah, no, that's a fair question. And, we were trained by the state to not do poker in live classes. And the reason for that is because, let's say we suggest really substantive changes for you, and you make those substantive changes, students who are halfway through the class might get a little confused by them.
Okay, so I misspoke. I mean,
Oh, okay.
take a live class and copy it into poker, so it's not live.
Okay.
It's poker live, but not student live.
Thank you for clarifying. That is perfect. That's what we want. We want you to take your existing course and just put it into an empty sandbox.
Oh, okay. I really have, it's just me. I have a hard time with the word sandbox.
Okay.
It confuses me. It makes me think I'm starting from scratch, and that's a turn off. So
No. We call it a sandbox because it's a place to go play. It's a place to play and redesign. Though some colleges call it a master shell, as kind of this master template shell.
Yes.
And if you want to call it that, that is a-okay with me.
Okay, that was my hang up. So
okay.
That's an easy fix. Okay, thank you.
Very good. What other questions do we have? And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording and then commence with a few more questions if you have them. So thanks for tuning in. Anybody watching afterwards, stopping the recording.